Okay, so let's say we want to create a slightly more complicated type of list and one that we can iterate over using a for loop. So in for loops, remember, we can use them to iterate containers like lists. This time, we're going to create a list that is not a text-based one, or rather with letters, but with this time putting numeric values, integers specifically. And remember, integers are numbers defined without decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is a list that contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what if I want to actually see what values are in that list? So what I could use is a for loop for that. So I can say for I, so within the value I, the I location value in a list, I want to know what it is in the range. So the range is the total length of, or rather the range of values in a given list. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to the length, so the length of A. So this is basically telling it that I want to go from 0 to the length of the list. So it should go from 0 to 4 in this case. So length being 4. And notice these are blue outputs, so those are built-in commands. And then so long as the ith value is basically less than 3, I want you to print basically the I location of a given list. So let's run this and see what we get. So we get 1 and 2. So what this is saying is basically, give me the ith location so long as the value is less than 3. So of course, the ith location is 0 and 1. Those values are going to be less than 3, and also the third value, the output of the third value, 3, is not true. So in the third location, we have the value 3, and what you see in that list. So that means it is not less than 3, so it doesn't print. So in this case, what we see is an output of the first 2 values, the first 2 I values. So what it is getting those outputs I from the list. So I being 1 for location 0, I is 2 for location 1, and so forth. And that's why we see the outputs that we do. Now, of course, since the output for the third location is 3, it is not less than 3, so it didn't print in this case. But that's a good way to potentially use lists as a way to get, or reference rather, values contained in a list.